I know some of you are probably tired of hearing about Arkham Origins Remastered. I thought I was that way too until the other day. Now, as much as I would love for this game to be real, I just don't feel like the leaks have been credible enough up until this point, and I also feel like Warner Brothers would have revealed it by now if it was actually coming, especially with Suicide Squad's gameplay reveal flopping so hard earlier this year. I mean, that game was supposed to be our big return to the Arkhamverse, but the entire internet hated it, and for good reason. So you would think that if Warner Brothers had an ace up their sleeve like a classic Arkham game remaster, they would have pulled it out. They would have announced it already so they could divert attention away from the next game. But the other day, someone actually personally reached out to me to make me aware of a brand new leak that seems to suggest that not only is Arkham Origins Remastered real, but the announcement is literally days away. So in this video, I'm going to go over the new intel. We're going to take a deep dive into whether or not it's legit, because if it is, then all of you Arkham fans who have patiently been waiting for this rumor to come true, you're about to get to celebrate. Drop a like on the video. Let me know in the comments if you want the new leak to be real. Stick around for the entire video because it's going to get a little spicy. Oh yeah, what's up everybody? Chaos here. So, on June 4th, I was made aware of a tweet that came out the day prior from a Twitter account called Daily Arkham Meme. As you can probably tell, it's an Arkham meme page. But on June 3rd, they tweeted out a very interesting post that seemed to be completely genuine. They tweeted out a picture of some fan art of the Arkham Origins Remastered box art, but they captioned it, "Expect an announcement this Summer Games Fest." That's all I'm able to say without being sued. Keep an eye out. I mean, sounds pretty straightforward to me. Now, right out of the gate, you may want to write it off because it's coming from a meme page, but I actually don't think that discredits it. In fact, I think that kind of makes it more believable, because if you're a developer who has information about a game and you want to get it out to the world as a little tease, which is something a lot of game companies do these days, trust me, they do. I'm not going to go into detail, but I've had game companies hit me up in the past to leak a little bit of stuff. They kind of give me a nugget, and then they let me run with it. That is real. Giving the intel, to a meme page dedicated to your franchise, it's actually pretty genius. Now, there were some people questioning the legitimacy of the leak for other reasons, though. The main one being that a lot of people don't seem to think Warner Brothers would skip over the rest of the Arkham franchise to remaster Origins instead of Asylum or City or even Night, or just say screw it and redo the entire Rocksteady trilogy. Now, before we move on with that and elaborate, guys, if you get anything from G2A, use code CHAOS. The link is at the top description. Save yourself some money. Now, again, I actually don't think this discredits the leak. After Suicide Squad upset everybody, Warner Brothers probably wants an easy win, and the best way to do that is to make the existing Arkhamverse games as good as you can. Arkham Knight looks great, as is, honestly. It could benefit from a performance boost, which it would probably get in the near future. Asylum and City, both already remastered as the Return to Arkham Collection for the Xbox One and the PS4, which is playable on the new Xbox and PlayStation consoles. All is right in the world. Arkham Origins dropped 10 years ago for the PS3, the 360, and the PC, has not gotten the love that the other ones have. It hasn't. Now, it was actually teased in the Suicide Squad, it teased the Suicide Squad 10 years ago, making it actually a pretty prime choice for marketing with the Suicide Squad, if you ask me. So, to those of you saying Arkham Origins doesn't make sense to remaster, I think it's the exact opposite. I think it makes perfect sense. It teased Suicide Squad a decade ago, but this all raises the big fat question. How legit is the leak? Now, if you've been watching my Arkham update videos, you probably remember the last one where I said I thought all the Arkham Origins remastered leaks were actually fake, because I simply think we would have known by now, right? With Suicide Squad having to drop, I think Warner Brothers would have announced Arkham Origins long ago, especially with how much negative press the new game has gotten. But then again, I guess it's possible that the original plan was to shadow drop Arkham Origins Remastered a few weeks before Suicide Squad, which would explain why the game was never announced before Suicide Squad's delay, and it would explain why there's new leaks coming out about the remaster. So assuming Arkham Origins Remaster was going to be a shadow drop, I guess these leaks could be legitimate. Then again, we could still chalk it up to wishful thinking like I did with the original ones. At the end of the day, you and I can sit here and talk for hours and spin around in circles about how great of an idea it would be to remaster Arkham Origins ahead of the Suicide Squad game. It was the first time the team-up was mentioned in the Arkhamverse. It was also the only Arkham game to not be remastered or modernized. I suppose Arkham Knight hasn't received a remaster either, but the game looks good, and it was supported much more than Origins ever was. Plus, Arkham Origins has actually been seeing a bit of a revival over the years since the launch bugs have mostly been ironed out and people are actually more receptive to the story. I also think a lot of the game's initial criticism came from the fact that it was pretty obvious it was a copy-paste of Arkham City's assets and gameplay, and there were certain sections of the open-world map that were literally copy-pasted from Arkham City. So honestly, I can understand why Origins is seen as a step down from Asylum and City when it came out, but I do not think it deserved to be completely forgotten by Warner Brothers. WB needs a win, my friends, with the DC Universe in particular, and they need it fast. Gotham Knights flopped hard. Suicide Squad, it's on the same path, which is going to hurt WB even more since that game had a much larger budget and longer development cycle. WB could be gearing up for some big Arkhamverse revival, and I think that could come in the form of remasters, remakes, or just simple re-releases of the classic games. The Return to Arkham Collection is almost certainly going to be re-released or at least updated for the PS5 and the Xbox Series consoles in the near future, and I'm sure Arkham Knight will get some kind of next-gen patch in the coming months. When it comes to Arkham Origins, though, man, I could go either way. On one hand, I could totally see Warner Brothers wanting to do a remaster, and if that's the case, announce it at Summer Games Fest. It would make sense, especially since it would get people to stop talking about Suicide Squad. But on the other hand, WB has completely shunned Arkham Origins ever since release, so I wouldn't be shocked at all if they continue to do that. So at this point, I'm not going to be surprised if Warner Brothers decides to remaster and re-release every Arkham game except Origins, which would make all the Origins remaster leaks really, really awkward. I suppose we'll only have to wait a few more days at this point to know whether or not the leaks are real, but you guys know where I stand personally. I really want the leaks to be real, but I really think Warner Brothers would have announced it by now. I mean, if you're watching this video and Summer Games Fest has passed and it didn't happen, it's probably not going to happen. If you're watching this video and Summer Games Fest has passed and it did happen, then let's all celebrate together. We'll see. This may have been the longest wait for a leak to become real in gaming history, but if it ends up being the case, it's worth it. In a perfect world, I think Warner Brothers will come out swinging at Summer Games Fest and announce the Arkham Origins remaster alongside next-gen updates for Arkham Knight and the Return to Arkham Collection, meaning every single Batman Arkham game will be up to modern performance standards on the PS5 and the Xbox Series console, and we'll get to re-experience Arkham Origins with the care and love that it deserved on launch day. Now, granted, that's a perfect world scenario, but I don't think it's impossible. If Warner Brothers wants an easy win, there it is. We've put it right in your lap. So let's take the odds. Out of 10, what do you think the chances are we actually get Arkham Origins? I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll make a follow-up video. Actually, there's not really a reason to make a follow-up video if they don't announce it. If it is announced, we will have a lot to talk about because that means they're actually going to embrace the Arkhamverse and keep it going. Suicide Squad is not going to revive the Arkhamverse. You really, honestly, either have to go with the classics, with Batman, or you have to do something new that involves Batman. I mean, let's be real. That's kind of the origin. That's kind of the center. You kind of need Batman for these. So I think it's possible. I'm going to be a wishful thinker here. We'll see what happens. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.